Preface. This video is primarily intended for people who may know me personally. I don't want to be a jerk to anyone, but I do want to talk about my views and thoughts and reasons why I have those views. So, if at any time you think I'm being a jerk, just try and nicely let me know how and why you think so, and maybe we could figure that out. I would be much more direct about my views with people who don't know me, but with people who do know me, I feel like they deserve a little more. Like, I feel like it's a good idea for me to go the extra mile to try to emphasize, yes, I am saying my opinions, and we might disagree, but I'm really trying to not be a jerk about it. I think it's very important for people to feel that others understand them, but it isn't always easy for that to happen. It's easy to understand children, so children are often appreciated intrinsically, automatically, because children are so easily understood. Why does it have to be any different for kids who happen to be a few years older? Who flipped the magic switch that made that kid no longer worth understanding? There used to be certain views that I would just keep to myself, so people didn't really understand the full me. And over time, I couldn't help but feel a little bit sad about that. And while those hidden views did feel like a weight I carried, it was still the choice that seemed to make the most sense, because if I shared those views with people in my life, I don't think the conversation would necessarily end in mutual agreement, and I don't even think it would end in a point of mutual understanding. So I kept my views hidden and the dead weight that just remained in my mind, and I felt like I grew used to carrying that weight over time. These friends don't need to know that I watch that show or listen to that music or plays those video games or have this slightly different view than theirs, or eat pork in some cases, or just have these questions. Many of these things I sincerely didn't think were actually wrong in any way, and I knew many other perfectly fine and very intelligent people who felt the exact same way. I think feeling understood is very important to people, and when that can't happen, it's sometimes easier to just let people assume that we are all in agreement, so we can still feel like people understand us in a way, because for all those people know, maybe their view of us is all there is to us. It's called putting on a show, or playing the role, or fitting in with the crowd, or showing discernment in social situations. And it sucks. So I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to be honest. A big reason is because I want to be understood. It's totally okay if you don't agree with me, as long as we can keep talking. But I do ask that if you do listen, that you please understand my whats and my whys, my questions and my answers, and to what extent that you are able, my intentions and my feelings. In return, I vow to make my best effort to not inaccurately represent anything you say to me or assume you are being unreasonable before I try talking with you. Now, all that said, not to say that I don't write people off. I don't know many Muslims, but say I just met one. I wouldn't write him off on the basis of him just being a Muslim, but I might write him off if he's showing signs of not wanting to listen to others or trying to make it sound like I said something I didn't actually say. If he listens, talks, and has a good conversation with me, then we are on good terms. A very, very close family member of mine recently asked me with a trembling voice, "Do you think I'm stupid because I don't agree with you?" And I replied, "Of course not. I am incredibly relieved that we are able to listen and understand and have a conversation. The only foolish people I think of are people who shut people down before even trying to understand them. And doing that is just completely unnecessary. You can always talk to someone. So I've said all that, and I want you to know, even if we don't agree, the fact that you may be willing to understand my view as well is enough for me to value you and listen to what you have to say as well, again, even if we don't agree. And I want to try and demonstrate to you that I can and will change my mind, because I want you to see me as a reasonable person who will change his mind for good reasons. And obviously, before any of that could happen, I would have to hear you out, and I'll have to think about it and tell you what I think, etc. Of course, any conversation is a process. But it seems some people take really misunderstood and unfortunate shortcuts in the process of these kinds of conversations. In fact, they sometimes skip the conversation and go straight to telling the person they are a bad, horrible piece of dirt, or that they're just wrong before talking about it. And as I'm sure you probably noticed, it's really easy for a person with low levels of knowledge and patience and very high levels of confidence and ego to make that step. And low levels of knowledge plus high levels of confidence happens to be something America does really well. So knowing all this, I'm still going to try, because I want to be understood, and I want to offer understanding to others, and because I want to be a part of conversations that have made a difference in my life and others' lives. I am an atheist. I have been since May 2012. I was 25 years old, 2 years out of Pensacola Christian College. I have a lot more I could say about that, but that's all I'm basically going to say right now. I'm going to give this some time before I make another video. Just having you know that is a really good start for me. Now, one thing I want to point out, I'm not saying you have to enroll in my courses and take my classes on why everything, this and that. But if the subject matters to you, and if I matter to you, and you agreed with everything I said before this point in the video, then I would ask that we talk about it. Honestly, though, not everyone is interested in this topic, or maybe they are interested, but they're not obsessed about it like maybe I am. And if that's you, then we are cool. If you are willing to have this conversation with me, or maybe if you're just willing to listen and understand my perspective, then I look forward to it. And I'm going to post a few videos in the description below, just a few videos intending to try and find a good starting place, the simplest place to start talking about such a huge topic. If you do watch them and have some comments to make on them, feel free to post them here in the comments below, or send me a Facebook message. And thanks again, and have a great day.